everyone. Welcome back to Herding Squirrels, a podcast about modern teams. Today's guest is Harini Rajagopal, a data engineering leader who specializes in building scalable, robust data pipelines that manage terabytes of information. She expertly combines software development rigor with strategic execution to drive business value. A recognized thought leader and AWS Game Day champion, Harini is a frequent speaker, sharing expertise on building resilient data teams and preventing burnout. Welcome, Harini!
Hi, Brandon. Thank you so much for having me.
We're excited to have you here. I'd like you to build a model that tells a story about who you are outside of work.
I'm going to start from the top. We walk through it, right? So that's me right there on top. I put the flower on the top. I like girly things, so it symbolizes something that I find myself to be represented as.
Yeah.
So that's me right there. And then walking through it, me as a person is a lot of facets, right? I'd like to do a lot of things that's outside of work. And all of these together are like different phases of what I like to do. But there's a small edge to this. I feel sometimes that I'm on an unshaken ground. Like if you see, it's not all equal. So there's like a phase where it's good. And then there's a phase where it's like you're standing on these smaller steps where you're unsure. Where are you leading? Where are you going? Am I doing the right thing? Do I have the support? But the ones on the right are what I call the pillars I'm building to make myself more confident that I'm all the way here according to me, but what I think I would need are not there yet. So to me, this is almost like a non-existent small support, but it still exists.
Yeah.
That's family, friends, my skills, the time I invest in myself to learn, to collaborate, to learn from others, to network, or just to relax and gain my sense of self. So all of that are these smaller boxes that I'm building on top of each other to make me who I am on the whole. Oh, I also do something so growing up I had a lot of hobbies, but never pursued any of them really serious because there was a strong inclination that you do schoolwork more than anything else. Sports comes second, arts comes second, schools first. But which is great for where I am today. But now that I can have other things, I can invest my time learning stuff, I pick a hobby a year. So every year, at the beginning of the year, I pick a hobby and then I pursue it for the entire year, and then I either stick with it or switch.
What's your hobby this year?
I've done in the past.
What's your hobby this year?
Okay, so this year I am learning classical dance, which is traditional dance from the south of India, where I'm from. So I'm pursuing it formally, performing, learning it from a teacher, doing it more intense. Last year it was learning to swim. As an adult, I didn't know how to swim, so I went to private classes, learned how to not drown if I fall in a pool.
Very cool.
Every year it's different, but yeah. But you can make those choices to learn.
Great model. Perfect. Yeah, you've got it. Let's jump into our next build. Harini, I want you to think of the best team experience you've been a part of, maybe as a leader or as a participant. And I want you to build a model that shows why it was so amazing and memorable. Harini, let's see your great team model. Ooh.
That's my great team model. My best team experience was actually in COVID. I started on a brand new team, and I think that's when the entire team had also they were hiring new people, plus the entire team had gone fully remote. I think the 2 years that I was in the team was some of the best team experience I've received ever. The only reason was everybody was remote. Everybody was trying to create and collaborate with each other. So here's my block, and here's what I'm going to say. So the bottoms here are the core foundational team elements, both the director and the manager's bot, which is you are important. You as a person are more important than anything that you work from a 9 to 5 or after. So if you have personal things that you need to take care of, we're all remote, right? Everybody knows you will get your work done. You will get it done. So that's a core important personal fact, is that you need to understand that you are very important, and what you do for yourself and what you bring to the table is important. Number 2, and this is my second block here, and there's a reason that it's like that. because it's usually something that I follow with all my teams, which is you're here on your own personal volition. Nobody's making you sit at a job here, right? Nobody's making you do this. So I am not going to micromanage you. You know how to do your job. We're not going to go over and over again what you should be doing, how you should be doing. So I love that. I still use that with all my teams. Like the next is the collaboration aspect of things. And the step that I have here, there were really hard times, right? Like I had to learn new stuff, brand new things I've never gotten to. Like there was a child in the house. I mean, the daycares were closed. The husband and I had to manage taking care of him, the dog, and the house, and us, and working. But those are the pieces right here in the middle. The team supported it. Like we would have collaboration in the morning. Like everybody said good morning when they popped up. There was a team that said Wordle. Like there was a chat that had Wordle in the morning. Like people would like decompress for a couple of minutes, share their thoughts in Wordle, but also like actually genuinely care. Like, what are you working on? Do you need a couple of hands to like just think it out, or like just talk this out before you go back? And those are the pieces right here. And there was one also this, if we didn't have meetings, there was this one Slack channel where people would just join and do individual work. Like we wouldn't talk to each other, but you just have somebody else in place. So that I would call that the collaboration that helped me climb the ladder. And that's me right there. And the eyes here are everybody who was in the team at that point, and the managers and the director. And so many of those were green flags. So I have the green flags out there. And the other one is off to the left, and there's a reason I put it on the left and not on the top, because it was parallel to what was happening with the team. Was I was personally able to grow as a person from learning from how the team contributed. Like they were nerdy, they were fun, also vulnerable. Like, hey, I'm having trouble with like the cat's sake or the dog's sake, or I'm feeling, well, like it wasn't like words that were expressed explicitly, well, like things like, oh my gosh, today was just a Murphy day. Everything that you can think goes wrong went wrong today. And that helped me like propel my wings as a person, like to stand up for myself and to advocate for my teams. Like, have your opinions, share them, and you're allowed to be confident on what you think is the right thing. You don't have to force it down anybody's throat, but you can be confident when you say that out loud. Like stand up for yourself and like fly your wings.
I love it.
Yeah.
Harini, that is a fantastic model. There's so many things I want to get into, but before we do that, I want you to build another model. For your next model, I want you to build the opposite. What is the most nightmare team? What is the most challenging team you've been a part of? And build a model that represents why do you believe it was so challenging?
Did you know you can make it like tilt like that? Apparently I just figured it out.
Yeah, well, you can. I don't know how structurally sound it is, but
It is not, which is why we're doing this quickly. It's not supposed to be structurally sound. The question was, what was the worst team?
All right.
There we go.
Tell us more.
So, yeah, the project was ending, but it wasn't effectively communicated when the end date would be. Like you started making your transitions, you started like telling people what you were doing, how they would like continue doing the work, but there was no like end date with the situation. So here, foundation was loose. I'm out there dangling by myself. Everybody were leaving. You can see the like literally like pieces that are going everywhere. The eyes are, do you see the eyes on the back?
Yeah.
So you have eyes on your back looking at you. Like literally like eyes watching you, don't know where you're gonna go, where you're gonna land, and eyes on the top that looks up from up there. So it was a very hard situation to be in, right? Like you don't know if you're gonna have another job. It could be a day, it could be a month, it could be a year from now, but you can see that the transition is quickly happening. So that's my model where the team situation was very, very bad. Like eyes on the back, you're like watch to what you're not doing. Eyes on the top saying, are you not gone yet? Like, don't you have another job lined up? How can you do that? Like, are you not like good to get another job? Anyway, so that's my model. So I think you had a really good question follow up, which was what could have been done better to make that situation better. I think we could have had better leaders. Like the manager knew he was getting fired. Like he knew this for a fact. We could have had more interactions to say that I'm going to help you because there's going to be other places that you can go to. I think the management could have also been a little more collaborative in saying that this is a large company, it's a huge company. It's not like there's other jobs to go to. But the lack of empathy, I think that's more than anything. Projects end all the time. That's not something that's you can avoid or can control. The lack of empathy is something that I would fix, definitely fix. Like, I understand you, how can I help? Can I look at a resume? Can I have a little bit of conversations with other people that I can talk to you about? Yeah, that's it.
Your build alone for anyone listening on a non-video device, like this thing is tilting. The fact that you have it staying together that well, Harini, is impressive, and the visual really does show. Yeah, right. It's just it's unstable, and I think like that. And when you say the word unstable, you get it. But when you see unstable, you're like, I feel it. Like I can feel it just looking at that right now. Yeah. So in thinking of that, like I want to dig a little bit more into these team dynamics that you're talking about, right? Because you mentioned right in your first model, there's this amazing leadership. They're supportive. You were amazing as a person. You know, the empathy, the collaboration, the whole team, and I really love how you outlined that the entire team had a role in creating this amazing space, and it uplifted you as an individual. Yet on the flip side, right, we have a manager with no empathy who simply just didn't care, was a bad leader. I think the stat right now is somewhere around 70% of people in the workplace are disengaged. Like, why do you think we have such disparaging experiences in work? Like, why is this so common to have these bad experiences?
What I've learned is that being a manager is sometimes a very thankless job. And you should know what you're getting into before you start the job. Like, most of the time people are told, oh, you're going to be a manager because you're going to get more money, which 1,000% is a valid point to do. I would do it too. Like, I would not, anybody who says money is secondary, I would be like, really spoken like somebody who has money. But again, apart from, like, without digressing too far down that path, what I want to convey is that knowing that really helps when you are trying to bring together a disengaged team, right? Like, you don't do it because I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, you're all working for me. I'm in the same boat as you guys are, which is true for many managers. But knowing that you're doing this with your, again, own free volition, knowing that you're here to bring your team together, to get them engaged, to get them to work together, be contented, or at least like have pride in the work that they do every day, is a large portion on the manager's perspective. So to answer your question, the reason why is that people who lead teams are sometimes not told that this is going to be a thankless job and you should be well aware before you start doing this.
Can you say a little bit more about what do you mean by a thankless job? Like, can you like clarify kind of what that means a little bit more? I agree with you, I understand, but I think can you detail that out and double click on that?
What I mean by that is you're not going to get praised for every little thing you deliver. Like, as an IC, every time you push code, every time you push features, you're going to know that that's going to land so well. But as a manager, sometimes you're going to have these conversations over months without knowing where it's going to lead. Am I making their job better? Am I making their experience better? Am I giving them good challenges to be successful at their job? You don't know what it's going to lead to, right? Like, nobody's going to call, like, your manager isn't going to call you and thank you and say, good job managing your team. Or you're sometimes not going to even hear from your team members and say, hey, something that you said really resonated with me. You might or might not hear that. But you're going to do that anyway because you signed up to do it and you want to do it. That's what I mean by thankless job. Like, you want to be there for your team and you want to contribute either as a manager or as a collaborator.
I think you've really hit on something very important. Your journey through adulthood, up until being a leader of people, is predicated on you doing something and then getting praise for that thing. Go back to kindergarten, go back to high school, right? Go to college, go to all of your jobs as an individual contributor. You constantly have this feedback loop of someone who's watching what you're doing, everything, right? And suddenly
Yeah.
that kind of goes away, and your job is no longer to have the right answer, but to help other people find the right answer. I I want to jump into another thing you said there
Exactly.
about not necessarily knowing where you are or where you're headed. How do you
Yeah.
lead in this time of COVID, of AI, of remote and now hybrid work, where we're living in constant change? How do you lead through that?
Yeah. Well, a couple of things that I do with my team is one is sometimes you need to like understand that change is permanent. If not AI, there's going to be something else. That's one thing. The other thing is your growth mindset and continuous learning. So when you show up to work every day, or like when you as a person want to contribute something, you want to know that, hey, I might learn something new today, which might contradict what I learned yesterday, and that's okay. I'm going to absorb it. I'm going to have time to synthesize it and then process it. So both change is going to be here forever, continuous mindset, continuous learning mindset. And the third is um, making the effort to contribute and learn. Like you have a new technology, hey, can we do like an hour on Fridays to like get together, or like take a couple of hours? You don't have to like push code or whatever, push a feature. Sit down and learn stuff. Like learn for yourself, learn so that you can contribute something. And the fourth, this is my favorite, is I've got your back. As long as I'm here, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna have your back. If there is a change, we will see it together. Like we will navigate it together as a team. We will carve time for ourselves to learn this together. If there are changes, we will. As long as I'm here, we will see it all together. This is a team, and I've got your back. Those are like my four things to navigate any change.
There's always something. Yeah, there'll
Yeah,
be a
there's
new
always
change
something.
coming up next week, and then next quarter and next year.
Yeah, but you gotta make your mind up that this is gonna be something that I'm gonna be okay with. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be okay.
Can you talk a little bit about how you manage the balance of everything you've talked about, being supportive,
Yeah.
taking care of your team, with time pressure? I've heard and many of our guests have talked about the pressure of time is one of the things that, because these things take time to have those conversations, to sit down, to chat, and yet on the flip side, right, we have to get product out the door, we have to get our jobs done.
Yeah.
How do you find that balance as a leader?
Can I be honest and say, and this is vulnerable in saying, I don't know everything at all. And sometimes I don't know how to do it either. Like I'm in the same boat as people who ask me questions. I'm gonna have to go find out the answer for you, but I will find an answer. Sometimes I do it really well. Sometimes I need like collaboration. I need like read articles, or like talk to people on LinkedIn, like look at what they've shared to understand how they're going through these changes as well. So I wouldn't say I'm constantly doing a really good job at it. But the one thing is to know that you don't have to be best every single time. Like the pressure on yourself, be it time pressure. Like I need to deliver something at a certain point in time, but you you still need to do a good job at it and not a shoddy job. What I went to a recent leaders conference, and one of the things that they said was, when you have when you have three options, always work on making those options 30. I thought it was like, oh, what? They're like, there's never just three options. There's always 30. Work on giving yourself more options. So in my experience, especially when it comes to time, you have to be honest with yourself. You can either do it or you're gonna not do it and do a bad job at it. Can you work on more options to give yourself more time, or like do a portion of it and then like work yourself up for others? There's never X options. Work on your improving your options than picking the ones that you're given.
I love it. I love it. Fantastic. Harini, I think we have time for one more build. So you
Okay.
grab your Legos again.
Okay.
What I want you to do is think that you've got a room full of individual contributors about to embark on their first leadership role. I'd like you to build the Harini model of leadership advice for this group. What information would you share with them?
Okay. So that's my leadership advice model. Okay, so here it goes. If you see the bottom, they're all uniform blocks. They're all uniform, like the colors. Um, so have a uniform messaging. Be consistent in your messaging. If it's having their back, have their back. If it's always striving to do the right thing, strive for that. Like, have a consistent messaging when you're leading teams. That's one. Two is be very clear why you signed up for. Like, take a second if you have to pause to know that sometimes this may not go your way, but you're doing this because it's what you want to do at the end of the day. Be very clear. Make sure that you like get that messaging in very, very clearly. Two more things in here is that be a ladder that helps people grow. You don't have to climb that ladder all the time. You're making pathways so people can learn. That's the third one. Be a green flag all over. Like, just be nice. Like, people matter. When you make an emphasis that says people matter, people will show up because you've made the team feel like they're important. And then have eyes forward. You're not micromanaging them. You're not there to parent them. That's completely incorrect. You're there to help them grow. That's it.
I love it.
And just learn from your experience.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Harini, wonderful. That's a great model. Thank you so much for sharing. I have to ask, be honest,
Okay.
What was it like to build and share your stories out of Lego bricks?
Nervous. But I really liked your advice, which was like, let your hands do the talking. So while I was like thinking of the last question, right, I saw patterns where they were clearly the same colors. I'm like, hey, consistent messaging, right? That can bring those blocks together. I was very nervous, to be honest, but I think I did okay because I think for a person who built models for the first time, I really, really enjoyed it. And it made me think through smaller chunks of how I should be phrasing things, which I really appreciate. Like, it doesn't have to be one large anything.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, you did amazing. You were absolutely fantastic for building and playing with us. Harini, if our guests want to find more information about you out on the internet, like where can we find you?
I'm on LinkedIn, which is pretty much the only platform I use. I do say yes to like speaking events, which is mostly with my topic of technical interest, which is data engineering. So I got to know about herding schools, which is awesome, by the way, and the Lego Play through the organization called CTO. If you guys are interested, the website's in the description of this episode. Please do check us out. We just had our yearly event last week in San Francisco. It had to talk to many great engineering leaders, so we'd love to connect, but the community is awesome, so please do take a look at GDO.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you, Harini. Well, we'll make sure to have Harini's LinkedIn and a link to CTO as well in the show notes. Otherwise, Harini, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Brandon.
All right. All right, and until next time, everyone, this is Herding Squirrels, where we uncover the nuts and bolts of teams.